Hello, 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 everybody. It is great to be on. We are on our last two nights here. Just has been fantastic journey, and I thought tonight was going to be a perfect chance and experience to hear from some people that have been on a journey like yours. And um, one of my favorite stories is the story of Roger Bannister and how he basically Roger Bannister was the first person to ever run the 4 minute mile. And the thing is, once he ran the 4 minute mile, 26 other people did it that same year. And the reality is because people realized it was possible. Okay. And the three absolutely spectacular women that I'm going to be bringing on tonight are proof that it's possible to improve your health, to improve your lifestyle, and start to, pump your entrepreneurial muscles, which is fantastic. And the first person we have coming up tonight, her name's Kate. And basically, when Kate came to me, she was a teacher just like myself, and we were doing health stuff and focusing on health things. And she was one of the first people that I ever was like, I want to help people transition into something new. And it gave me that beautiful vision of what the potential you could be, way more than just health and lifestyle and all those things. But I'm just so excited to bring her on tonight and for her to share her story with you. So let me do this. This is cool because this is the first time I've ever done it where we're bringing three people back to back. So here we go. They're probably like, I don't even know what's going on anyway. See, Kate's here. She's ready. Kate, thank you so much for coming on tonight.
Matt, I'm so jazzed, and I'm always eager to help connect people with you and talk about how you help me chase my dreams.
I love it, Kate. And so I want, Kate, before we even get into any of those things, I would love for you to just tell people what you do. So anybody that is in the area that may need insurance, I mean, you guys are my insurance people. So I would just love for you to share what you do, what your entrepreneurial journey is.
Yeah. So like Matt mentioned, I was teaching up until last year, and he really gave me the courage to step away from that and follow my dreams. So I decided that I really wanted to get into content development. I was a freelance writer. And since COVID hit, I've really pivoted and worked even more closely with my husband than I was before. And I'm an insurance agent, third generation in our family business. We take a holistic approach to insurance and make sure that people get concierge level service and the protection that they can trust.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. That's why they are my people that I go to. Because, I mean, how many of you have insurance that you're like, I don't even know what I have or who's there when I call, right? So the nice part is, I was actually with Kate's Insurance before she even started coming to my gym. But Kate, I'd love for them.
I knew you when you still had a lot of hair on your head.
Exactly, right? When I had mohawks and all that stuff. So I would love for you to share kind of where you were in your journey before we started working together many years ago, and then where are you now?
Yeah. So when I met Matt, I was 6 months pregnant, and he threw out an offer for a free grocery store tour. And I was interested in changing my life. At the time, I was working on quitting Diet Coke. So I was drinking at least 3 cans of Diet Coke a day. And I realized that that was not leading me towards my goal of having a healthy pregnancy and baby. And we worked together at the gym. I was working out with Matt 2 days before I went into labor, and I was hitting it hard. The other woman there
she was getting after it, like real. Like we always had like 1 or 2 pregnant women in the gym when I was running my fitness facility, but Kate pushed it to the limit. Like she went the longest before actually giving birth. So massive kudos.
But I think when I think about how I met you and that awesome picture that you have of me literally 9 months pregnant, throwing 20-pound bags around, I think that helped me realize, Matt, that it doesn't matter what your dreams are. They can be big or they can be as small as quitting Diet Coke, but that you can help people get where whatever they want to do, you can help them achieve it. Because what you helped me realize was that I can't let other people determine my limits, and I can't let the story of what I thought I should be or what I could be from what the world or society or my own narrative story that I had going on in my head. You helped me break free from that. And I was really unhappy as a teacher. And we realized that when I was at the gym, you and I would have conversations.
Yes.
While I was like working out and stretching, Matt, I had them like, they were Matt talks, where you would really empower me and help me know that I wasn't alone. And in our conversations and as your potential you kind of evolved, you helped me realize that I could be the one to determine the direction that my life would take, and that it wasn't, the 30 something years before, it was about what laid ahead of me. And that if I had a good support team behind me, I could really do anything.
Yeah. And I think you hit so many heads on the nail there. like there's so many beautiful twists and turns of your journey. And I think the most beautiful part about it is that it would have been easy for you to stay a teacher, correct? Like that would have been the easy route. Like it would have been easy for me to stay in my gym, right? It would have been, these are like the easy things, and a lot of us settle, but you didn't settle. And that's one of my favorite parts of your journey. And on top of that, your evolution of health for yourself, but also for your family, has been like amazing.
It is, Matt. And I think people's minds are kind of blown. So I started with Matt. I had some minor health things. And what I really wanted was to get my whole family on board, because watching my mom grow up, when I was growing up, she would go on diets and on and off diets. And at the end of the day, nothing ever stuck. It was just like something she was doing in the moment. And I didn't want to be that for my kids. I wanted to really be somebody who could lead them towards better health and lifelong nutrition. My kids go to preschool and they get served goldfish, and my kid literally will not touch Ritz crackers. People wouldn't believe it, until you see it. And then if you lay out a cucumber in front of him, he'll eat the entire thing. He just loves it. And I often meet people who don't understand what it means to eat healthy food. My 7-year-old could explain to people what it means to eat a rainbow of colors. And
yes, he can, folks. in a very elegant way. We could have had him on. He probably could have come on tonight.
I think you should do a kid special, Matt. Because, but being an empowered mom to me means educating my kids and empowering them to, when we go to a birthday party, my kid's not going to eat pizza and ice cream and cake. He's going to choose one of those three on his own. I don't remind him. I'm not there. I'm not prompting him. Yeah. He makes the decision about what makes him feel good. And he knows that at 7. And I think most adults don't know that. And Matt didn't teach my kid that. I taught my kid that. And
exactly.
I think that's really amazing. And you helped me be the mom I wanted to be for my kids in that way, as far as nutrition goes. But then I think even in a bigger standpoint, where we talk about what it means to be a sheepdog. And that's my, the way that I see myself now. I definitely wasn't always a sheepdog, but I'm glad to be one now.
I love that. And it's funny because I don't remember all the things that we do because me and Kate have worked together for many years. But when she refers to sheepdog mentality, there's sheep, there's sheepdogs, and there's wolves. And a lot of times as sheepdogs, sometimes we look like a wolf, but we're really in the important piece there is you're pushing people to be better than they think they can be, really. And I think that's what it is. And you do that for your kids. I mean, your husband, your mom, and it's been an evolution through your whole family, really, to help the ripple effect from Kate. And this is really what I love about Kate's story is Kate was the beginning, right? And the ripple effect that she created was massive. And she was kind of my first glimpse of I think I want to help mompreneurs. Like I think there's something there for me, and it definitely led me down this rabbit hole. Now I help so many different kinds of people, but I just think there's such a beautiful effect of helping a mom and a mompreneur, and the ripple effect of what that looks like.
Yeah, and whenever I tell people who's struggling in their life and thinking about they might need help, I often turn people to you, Matt, because whether you're struggling with diet or nutrition or how to get a job that you are happy with, that you can, reach all of your goals with, you're really a guy who can empower women. And that is a crazy, awesome thing that this world really needs. So
I so much appreciate that, Kay, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing your story, because it's really impactful for other people that are thinking about beginning this journey, or thinking about beginning an entrepreneurial journey, or thinking about beginning a health and lifestyle journey, right? Like, and really it's all the journey of growth. And I think you said that best, where it's just like, it's how can we help you achieve your dreams no matter what they are, right? And setting you up with the right people. Like I've surrounded myself with a lot of great people. And when people need insurance, I send them to you guys. Like when people need wine, I send them to one of the women that are going to come on next.
It's the best wine. If you have not tried it,
exactly.
It's not approved for a reason.
And there's just so many beautiful pieces of all of this. And it just gives people a chance to really see it. So I thank you so much for coming on tonight, sharing your story with all the busy, crazy things that you're doing. I wish you the absolute best, and thank you once again for showing up and sharing that with us.
Well, Matt, thanks for changing my life. I appreciate it.
You're awesome. Thank you, Kate. Awesome. All right, guys. So, I mean, Kate's an unbelievable example of what it looks like to step into your truth and step into something that seems scary in the moment, right? And I will tell you, and we didn't even talk about it, but Kate no longer drinks Diet Coke, by the way. So that's another important thing. And, along with so many unbelievable pieces of her journey, it's great to see how far she's come, and she's still living it even now after the program, right? Like that's like one of the bigger pieces of the puzzle. People are always looking for sustainability. And I think that's one thing that's really important to understand, is that this has to be sustainable. It has to be something that you will do for your life. And a lot of it is, once you know, you can't unknow what you know. That's the biggest thing, right? Like once it happens, once it hits you, you just know. So the second amazing mompreneur I'm going to bring up tonight is actually a woman who came on, and she just was trying to get healthy. Like Tina just wanted to get healthy and improve her lifestyle and really be a better role model for her daughter. And it was the type of thing where I think she just kind of caught the mompreneur fever when she was in the group. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about Tina's story, is that she just started to see through health and lifestyle and all those other things that there was just more, right? There was more to do. So Tina, thank you so much for coming on and joining us tonight. Oh, we can't hear you. Let me see. No, it shouldn't be. It should work. Let's try it again. Press your, actually, let me see if it's me. Can you talk again? No, it's not working. That's okay. We're going to figure it out. So let's see. I'm going to just double check. You know what, Tina? What we'll do is I'll give you a chance to work on that, and I'll bring on Aaron, and then we'll come back. Does that work? Can we do that? Because I want to make sure your sound is working. All right. I'm going to let you play with that, okay? We're going to make it work. I'm not worried. And this is also a really good point, folks, that technical stuff, it doesn't matter. This is the thing, folks. This is the beauty of live and trying to figure it all out and make it work, okay? So that's the beauty of it. So we're going to play with it. Okay. We're going to come back. We're going to come back. And that's the thing for those of you that are like, oh, everything has to be perfect. Like it doesn't. Okay. Like it doesn't need to be perfect at all. But we're going to bring Tina on, and what we'll do is we're going to have Erin jump on, and Erin works for an amazing wine company, and just is an amazing person in general. And she'll tell you a little bit about her wine company. But also the thing that I love about Erin's business is that she wanted to create health and lifestyle around her business and build, not be tied to the business and drowning at the same time. It was more about growing with the business. And when we linked up together, it was a lot about that, health, lifestyle, and mindset, and all of those things. So, Erin.
Hi, how are you?
Hello. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us. It's so important for people to see and hear stories from people like yourself, to know that it's totally possible. So I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Thanks for having me. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I would love for you to kick it off and just share with the group just kind of what you do, what your business is all about. And, people here might be watching and they might want some awesome wine. I mean, we love your wine. So it'd be great to learn a little bit more about that. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks. So first of all, thank you, Matt. My name's Erin Bose. I live in Foxborough, Massachusetts. And yeah, I joined up with a brand new company at the time, Scout and Cellar, that was kind of starting off in the direct selling space. And I say we now because I've been in it since the beginning, but Scout and Cellar, really their mission was to bring quality wine to people's door that is clean, so chemical free, no added sugars, no additives. And really what it boils down to is that there is, just like everything else, this is why I love working with Matt, is he's teaching people about looking for ingredients in food a lot of times and other things that you're consuming, whether it's like your beverages or your smoothies, etc. So Scout and Cellar basically is doing that with the wine. We're sourcing from small family-owned vineyards and basically bringing a cleaner, healthier wine to people. And it's awesome because you can shop online and have it shipped to your home. And you can shop with consultants like myself.
What's better than that, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a big part of like the major shift, when COVID hit was, there was a big growth in your company, right? In a big way. Yeah. And I think a lot of it is, a lot of the health and lifestyle stuff that we've done together, when that hit, you could have gone to a pretty low spot, right? We talked during this whole training, I talked about lowest standards and all of that stuff. So your standards now are very different than when you started, correct?
They really are, yeah. And I mean, I didn't really understand what that meant in the beginning when we were working together, Matt. I heard us, we talked about it, but it wasn't until I really started looking at my stuff. And what I found is I went to what are the things that I'm complaining about all the time, right? What are the things that I keep complaining about, but nothing's changing because I'm really not adjusting my standards. So
sure. Subconscious, right? It's all in there.
Yeah. So I had to really take a hard look at it and say, okay, well, if I'm going to have this change, I have to make the change. I have to change and shift. And that was hard. But honestly, I'm in such a better mindset overall in all areas of my life now. But what I was going to talk about really quick, Matt, because you were talking about the explosive growth. For any of you who have ever been in direct sales or even just owned your own business, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So of course, when Scout launched, there was so much excitement and newness around it, and that energy just carried through. So of course, we grew really fast. It was a new company. We were it was wine, so it was easy, right? And it was my team just really was growing fast. I was the first wine rep on the whole East Coast, so it just really took off. But I remember a friend of mine saying, "Girl, you're going to burn out before you even make it big."
Yes, right.
And I really didn't even, I was like, yeah, and I literally was. I was pounding the pavement. I was working overtime. And I realized when I hired Matt, I got to a point in my life where I started to let my health and wellness go down, and it wasn't my priority. Building my business was my priority. And I realized I can't keep going like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's when, I think we met at a perfect time. And for those of you that are out there that don't like networking events, I met Erin, like I had a table at like a networking event, and, like you meet a ton of people, but then you're going to come across some people that you just instantly connect with. And Erin was one of those people. And it wasn't the type of thing where I was like, I want Erin in my like, it was like, I think Erin's an awesome person. We just started chatting, right? Like we just connected. And I want like other entrepreneurs to understand, like, it's all about connection with people, right? It really, really is in your business, in my business, in everybody's business. It's about how do you connect with people and really listen to them and understand them and feel their journey. And I've just loved watching your journey and how what the stuff that Erin and I are doing now together is very different than what we did when we started too. Would you agree with that, right?
Very different. I mean, I think honestly, I went to Matt, I knew I was going to work on my health and my nutrition, but I kind of went to him expecting us to just start with the business. And I really was expecting that. And then he was like, here's the deal. Like, we have to start on your mind and we have to start on your nutrition, or else none of that other stuff is going to matter.
Yes.
So I really focused, like the first couple of months, I literally focused on me. And I was a little bit worried that, my business would fall. And honestly, I got my biggest promotion ever coming out of that. So
I think it's the ultimate business strategy. And a lot of people don't think of it like that, So I think that's a huge, huge point. Is there any message that you would tell anybody that's either thinking about starting a business or is in a business and is trying to take it to the next level, or just needs to shift their mindset or their health or things like that? Like, what is one huge thing that, like, a huge takeaway of yours?
Yeah, gosh, there's so many good things, but honestly, I love how you talked a little bit about networking. So let's run with that, because if there is one thing that I feel like I am strong in general, it's networking. And I've learned early on in my careers that your net worth is your network when it comes down to it. And that's not just business. That's also in life, like who you surround yourself with. So I think here's what I would say. I get this kind of pushback often with my own team members where they'll come to me and say, Erin, I don't know what to do because I already sold to all my friends and family. I don't know anyone around here. I don't have any friends around here. So I push back, not push back. I come back to them and I say, look, here's the deal. You have to create your network, and it should never rely on your family and friends. Like if you were to open a hair salon up the street from your house, or even 3 towns away, how are you going to get people in the door? And that's really where we start to look at like strategy, how are you going to market yourself? You can't rely on your mom and dad coming in for haircuts at the hair salon once a month to fuel your business.
It's probably not going to go well.
Right? Or your Aunt Sally so this is where you have to get out of your comfort zone and push yourself to start networking and create a network. You don't have to walk into a networking group with 100 people. And I mean, let's just say where I met Matt, I walked out of there were probably Matt, a couple hundred people there?
A couple hundred, yeah.
A couple hundred people there that were networking with each other. Honestly, I probably still am connected to 3 of them.
Yeah.
Matt being one of them. So you don't need to be overwhelmed by that. You're going to connect with who you are going to connect with, and then it can form wonderful relationships and partnerships.
And that's a big point of it all is creating those relationships and partnerships that drive into each other's worlds, right? Like, like for Erin's team, I go live for her team and she's here with all of you, right? Like, so it's a 100% beautiful give and take, and really serving each other, right? Like, and I say that and I love the thing that you said about the environment. I mean, that's why I included a whole session around empowered environment, because I think that's so important. So just tons of nuggets there. So thank you so much for coming on tonight, Erin. It's so important for people to see you and what they do. Guys, if you are interested in amazing, clean crafted wine, she's in the group with us. So please don't hesitate to reach out to her, okay? And thank you once again so much for coming on tonight.
All right.
Thank you. Awesome. So the coolest part is, when you watch somebody grow and evolve, where they are at the beginning of their journey is not where they're going to be. Like Erin's come so far, right? Like she started with me and she was like, all right, let's do a year. And she's way past that at this point, and she's continuing to grow and develop and evolve and all of those things, right? Because she's evolved, right? She's become more, right? And I, like I said in the 5-day, I said, it's not who are you, it's who are you becoming. And she's always becoming a better version of herself. And at the core, though, knowing that she's enough to make all of this happen and make her dreams come true. And it's great to just, I love surrounding myself with, that's the beautiful part about running your business, folks, is you can surround yourself with people you really love working with. And, Kate and Erin are definitely those people. And Tina is also just one of the most amazing people. And I've just loved watching her journey. And I know, get this, watch. When we go live right now, it's going to work. You ready?
Hey, can you hear me now?
Exactly. It's just, that's what we do, folks. We need to pull back, right? And sometimes it's the classic shut your computer off and just turn it back on, right? And then you just go with that. But the thing is, what a lot of people do is they freak out, right? They're like, oh my God, it's not going perfect. I don't care. And it worked out beautifully because now you're here and we can hear you. So Yay. Thank you so much, Tina, for coming on. You are a perfect, it's very cool because like Kate was like one of the first people I brought into shifting into a new career. And then, and it was all about health and lifestyle. And then Erin actually was building her business. But Tina, you had no vision whatsoever of becoming an entrepreneur. None at all, right? And that's one of my favorite parts of your story, and really just a fantastic piece. So I'd love for you to just share people why you jumped into the program originally. Like where were you at before the program? And then we'll get into kind of what evolved, what played out.
So I had a couple of years earlier, I'd had my child, and I kind of struggled with postpartum anxiety. And so that began this whole journey of trying to get myself feeling more like myself, because I started to get into the roles, of motherhood, of being the mom, being the wife, being the coworker, being the friends, and all of that. And I found myself getting lost in it. And I used to be a runner. I've done one marathon. I've done several half marathons and stuff like that. And I wasn't running. And I kept saying in my head, like, oh, I'll get back into it when I can get back into it. And I just realized, like, as the months became years, that I wasn't doing it. And it just got to the point where I was just so frustrated and so overwhelmed and stressed. And it was funny because, I'm on Facebook and stuff like that. And that's when I happened to see, just basically the things that you were posting. And I kind of went like, oh, I would like to to feel better and have more energy. I was going to bed, guys, at 7. Like I would put my daughter to bed and I would go to bed at 7:30 and I would wake up at, 6:30 or whenever I did. And I would still be exhausted. Like it was rough for me.
I know a ton of moms out there can totally relate with you when it comes to that, 100%. And I love the point that you made where it's like, I think you made a good point where like, you don't know who's watching you folks. Like Tina, we went to college together. So, it's been about 15 years since we, maybe a little bit less than 15 years since we graduated. And, she's seeing some of the things we're putting out. So when you guys are putting content out there, when you're putting value out there, understand that you don't know who's watching and you don't know who you can help, right? And at that moment, Tina realized this is a good idea. And at that point in time, my live launch that I was doing is not the live launch we're doing here, but it was called the Mind Body Business Transformation. Or it was actually at that point, it was just the mind body transformation. And she was like, I was like, she reached out and I was like, do you want to jump in? She was like, definitely. So she went through that. So it's once again, connecting, building value, right? So Tina was like, this is what I need, right? And then when I made the offer and you jumped into the program, what were the biggest things in the first couple months that jumped out to you?
Gosh, I've learned so much from you that it's like thinking back, I've changed so much that it's insane. So I would say probably some of the biggest takeaways early on was, just that I was definitely living off habit and convenience. Like it was, I thought I was eating healthy. And I was definitely one of those. Like, I'm like, no,
everybody does.
I get it. Or I eat some of the organic snacks, like, and sugar is sugar, right? And again, I didn't realize how much ingredient, like sugar was in everything. Yeah. I didn't cook. I had the identity of just, I was not a cook and I didn't. Like, if you were lucky, I would put some sauce from a jar in and cook some meat and like that would be pasta. Like that would be the extent of it. So it was really realizing what I was capable of, because at the time I was like, I'm doing the best that when I came into it, I was going, this is about all I have. Like I'm giving you all I have. And it really like, it's giving me no results and I'm getting nothing out of it. So, let's see what happens. And then I realized like, yeah, I can make time to cook. I can make time for all of these things that were so important and that, my sanity, I was able to give what I wanted to be, which was to be present in there and an example for my daughter.
And you are the epitome of example for your daughter, and your daughter's evolved, hasn't she?
She has. She drinks smoothies, not necessarily out of a cup, or sometimes she likes a bowl, and it's not all the time, but
it's all good.
She's a vegetable eater, just like Tuesday. Like she loves all of that stuff, and she still eats the normal snacks at preschool, but or daycare rather, whatever you want to call it at her age. But no, so it's been fantastic.
It's huge. It's huge. You mentioned so many things that we could unwrap there. One thing I'd really love to do with Tina here, and one of the bigger reasons I wanted her to come in front of all of you, because many of you will be able to relate with this particular thing, where Tina, when she came in, she really loved what we call certainty, and needing to know what was happening at all times, right? Like that control piece, right? Like, and as you evolved and went through this, I think the thing that blew my mind was when you decided, I want to see what entrepreneurial journey I can go on. And like, that's the opposite of certainty. Like, and any of you entrepreneurs in the group know, like, in order to step into building your business and all those things. And it really, uncertainty also shows up in trying new foods, building the skill of cooking, like, learning how to do that, which you did. So you really pushed past. I think what I love is that you pushed past your own subconscious blocks and habits. And there's always more we can work on, right, guys? And the beauty is Tina now sees all of the wins and all of those things. I'd love for you to just speak a little bit about that so people can know what I mean when I say all those things.
So as Matt knows, like I'm definitely a certainty seeker, or at least I was, and
Not
I would,
anymore.
yeah, I know, I would write him these long, I like to call them mini novels, and just kind of, yeah,
Memoirs.
they really were. Like he has chapter books from me. And I think the biggest thing that I got was kind of realizing that here I was, for lack of a better way of as he's saying, I'm looking for the mountaintop and I'm looking to get to that mountaintop, and I'm going like, until I get there, I am not going to be happy and I will not consider this success. And then I started realizing, oh my gosh, look at what I'm doing. So I'm starting to cook, which again, guys, I told you I had never done. And now I do the bulk of it here. I now run 3 times a week. And again, I hadn't really run since the baby, since before I got pregnant. So that was years and years ago. And now I do it 3 times a week. Oh my gosh, there's so much now. I jumped into entrepreneurship, which is like crazy. And now I'm getting these new habits like networking. Guys, I'm an introvert. Networking for me, doing Facebook Lives, not comfortable.
But she's so good at it. But you step in and you are just, you're doing it, and you keep doing it, and that's really the biggest things, folks, is like, you don't have to be perfect in the beginning. And when Tina said she wanted to jump in this, and she does a lot of stuff around network marketing and affiliate marketing, and things like that, and helping moms make money and stay home with their kids. I mean, that was really the vision that you had when you were like, I want to do this, because I think COVID kind of gave you the bug of like, I could be home with my with my children. Like, that's a huge piece of the puzzle. Is that the true piece here?
100%.
Yeah. So it's like, for those of you in the group right now that are, or watch this, in the next couple of days, it's possible. That's what I want you to get from Tina here, is that anything is possible. And really, what does it all come down to? What's the one thing, Tina, that it comes down to?
You are enough.
You are enough.
You are absolutely worth it. You are perfect the way you are, and you can become as much as you want to. The sky's the limit.
I should just click end right then, because that would be a perfect ending. I cannot thank you enough for coming on and making it work and playing with technology and all of that stuff. So thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
Have an awesome rest of your night. Excellent. Guys, that's it. That's how we're going to round it out tonight. We will bring on many other amazing women the next time we run this Empowered Entrepreneur Life workshop in the next couple weeks. And, those women there, they're just pure examples of anything's possible, okay? And that's why I wanted to bring them in front of you and just show you how different each and every one of the people that we work with are, right? And all the people in this group, everyone's got a different strengths, different things that they're good at. Everyone's entrepreneurial journey is different. Everyone's health and lifestyle journey is different. There is no cookie cutting, okay? There's just not. And that's where I think a lot of people, they try to find like this system and this thing and that thing to make it work. And the reality is that it comes down to the subconscious habits you have. Like we talked about in day one, the way that you feel, your nutritional habits, how you show up, your confidence in your look and your environment. And ultimately, how do you feel that you're living? I love Tina is like, she just was like, I want to move into this and start living, in a different purpose, it's a beautiful thing. And anybody can do it. We just need to get out of our own subconscious habits and patterns and shift our paradigm and our perception and push past what we think is possible. And I could not have said it better. And we talk about this all the time, but you are all enough. And that's the most important thing, is having the gratitude in your heart that you are enough where you are right now in the phase of your journey. Even if you're feeling tired or exhausted, or your health isn't where it wants to be, or your business isn't where it wants to be, or your lifestyle, your relationships aren't where you want them to be, every second is another chance to turn it all around. It really is. And that's the main reason I created the Potential You and the Strong Mompreneur movement, is because I wanted you to know that it's all possible and available to you, and get rid of those limiting beliefs that are holding you back, because it is all possible, it's all available, and you are more than enough to step up and stand for whatever you want to do in this lifetime, and have all the things that you want in this lifetime. Okay, so I hope this helped. I hope this was a positive experience for you tonight. And we have one more thing tomorrow night that we're going to round it out with. And I call it the implementation day, just to make sure you're walking away with clear intentions and ways to show up, take action, and get results. Okay, so have an awesome rest of your evening, and we will see many of you tomorrow night. Have a good night.